Welcome back. Let's start with the basic elements of music theory. Everything begins with a rhythm. First, we need to have some time reference to build a rhythm. The first concept we must learn is what is known as BPM, beats per minute. This concept signifies how many basic divisions we'll find in 1 minute, with each division having the same duration. For example, imagine a cake that we cut into 100 pieces. Each of those pieces is called a beat, so that cake will have 100 beats. Or something universal we all know, 1 minute has 60 seconds. Therefore, each second will be a beat. That is, we have 60 beats in 1 minute. With this, you already understand what BPM is. The next thing you should know is that BPM is used to measure the tempo or speed of a song. The higher the tempo or BPM, the faster the song is. And the lower the tempo, the slower our song will be. Look for the tempo selector within your DAW. Inside of FL Studio, I have the BPM selector up here. Typically, you can change it by clicking and dragging up or down. A very useful tool is the metronome. This function emits a sound at the beginning of each beat, so you can clearly hear the BPM. I will set the tempo to 60 BPM and press play. As you can see, we hear the sound once per second. Now, if I set the tempo to 120, we'll hear 2 sounds every second. If I set it to 30, we'll hear the sound every 2 seconds. This is important because when creating our songs, we won't use seconds directly. Instead, we'll use the beats of the BPM along with their divisions and groups. Now, let's learn the most basic but also the most used divisions of 4. In another lesson, we'll learn about other more complex divisions. But the only thing you need to know for now is that we'll count 1, 2, 3, 4, and when we finish, we start again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Each group of 4 beats builds a bar. Normally, within each DAW, you'll see color divisions that clearly separate one bar from another. And each bar has 4 divisions, which are the beats. In the case of FL Studio, we can also see in its step sequencer. It's also very likely that you can see it in the piano roll. If I hit play in song mode, you'll see the cursor advancing. And here's number 1, meaning bar 1 or measure 1, and the rest of the bars are numbered similarly. So in this case, I have a bar composed of 4 beats. But how long will those beats last? Well, it will depend on the tempo. If I set a very fast tempo, it's still a bar with 4 beats, but these beats are faster and shorter because my tempo is faster. Or I can make it much slower, like 40 BPM. It's still a bar with 4 beats, but now the beats are slower and longer. Something important to note is that the beginning of each bar sounds slightly different from the others. That's to help you locate the start of each bar. Now let's see that within each of these beats there are other lines. Just as a bar was divided into 4 beats, one beat can also be divided into 4. Each of these divisions is known as one step. In the step sequencer is clearer. Each of these buttons or lights represents a step. Down here you can see an indicator. When I hit play, it moves. And the lights on the cursor's positions emit sound. I can turn on 4 steps and then 4 silent steps. If you have another music production program, don't worry, you can do it in the piano roll or song mode. Zoom in on each beat until you see the divisions, and there you can place your sounds. Each program handles these divisions differently. You may not see them by default, so you'll have to look in the options or settings to enable them. In the case of FL Studio, it's controlled by the magnet-shaped icon called Snap to Grid. Clicking on it shows the different divisions. In summary, these are the basic musical units: bar, beat, and step, and the divisions of each unit, of course. When we make the sounds appear according to these divisions and combine them with silences is when we create the rhythm. So let's quickly do our first practice by creating one of the most basic rhythms of all. We'll use three elements: a kick, snare, and cymbal. One of the most basic rhythms is built by having the kick appearing at the beginning of each beat, that is, in step 1 of each beat. I'll place the snare on beat 2 and beat 4, and I'll place the cymbal in the middle of each beat, or in other words, in the step 3 of each beat. It's a basic rhythm that we all know. Now let's hear what happens if I change the tempo. Let's make another quite elementary rhythm. We'll keep the kick the same, but we'll change the snare. We'll put one on beat 1, step 4, beat 2, step 3, beat 3, step 4, and beat 4, step 3. And we'll place the cymbal on one step yes, one step no for the whole bar. That's it for the class, but you have homework. Open your music production program and look for where the BPM selector is, where the bar indicators are, see how the lines are marked and look for how to change the divisions, where the metronome is, and start playing with these three same sounds but using different combinations of steps. And see you in the next lesson.